Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is DiegoTod98 and we are finishing up our little playthrough on this zero cost build world. I got the blueprints that I needed updated for the train tracks, and so we'll be building those out today. I'm also going to be giving some little tips and tricks on controls that I've discovered through my time of playing Satisfactory. So for those of you just getting in and looking for how to play and just things that you didn't know in general, hopefully this will help you out a little bit. So the blueprints that I made are right here. Double stack, left turn, no supports, reverse, left turn, reverse, so that means it has supports, right turn, no supports, reverse, and right turn, reverse. So we got to bring all of those in to our transport. I'll put them all in right here. One of the things that's coming out in the new update is a Blueprint Mark II, Blueprint Designer Mark II. And what that will mean is instead of having a 4x4 grid system for our blueprints, we're going to be able to have 5x5. And that means that if you really wanted to have a train station in your blueprint, you could have a train station in your blueprint. And that is just amazing. So yeah, expect some crazy blueprints to be built out once the update comes out. Let me show you what the new blueprints look like. So the reason why we had to create new blueprints is because when we were looking to build a right turn, oh sorry about all the crazy flashing, when we were trying to build our right turn, it wouldn't work for us because if you've forgotten with this particular blueprint, the green on top means you're going, that's the way you need to go, and I have it set up so everything is going to its satellite. So this is forward, and that's the top layer, and then going this way is going back, which is why this is green, and at the top you see red. So this blueprint is correct, but in the wrong direction. So I went and built out a blueprint that is the exact same but has reverse lights. And this won't be used all that often, but it is useful for when we do need to use it. So we take our reverse, bring it in, and it should line up now. And it does. So there you go. That is how we will do all our right turns and our left turns for that matter. I have talked about the world grid before, and I will show you what I mean from that. Yeah, sorry about that. So it's a little bit of a tangent, but the reason I bring it up is I try very hard to have my world be in the world grid. So for instance, you'll see most of my bases and factories be built on the world grid. The way you do that is I like to take something larger than a 1 meter foundation, so a 4 or 2 will work. You hover over wherever you want to put it, and you hold down left control as the default key, and you see it snaps to that position. And it will automatically orient accordingly. So this is what's called the world grid. And it's just like snapping two foundations. It's automatically done when you're putting foundations on top of each other, and when you hold control, you're able to break off of that grid. But when you're in free world, it has its own specific layout, which apparently I did for this particular train. So yeah, you'll see my train stations usually on the world grid. Very few instances where I do not have them on the world grid. I bring this up because these style of tracks that I've done usually don't work on the world grid. These turns don't line up, and so very often you'll see me, once I get to connecting my train station to my overall train track, that I will have to then put my I'll have to like seal the gap, because there's going to be a little bit of a gap from my train track to my train station. So now that we're past that, let's build over to, let's say, that mountain over there. If I can get it for you. That worked. We're going to go over to that mountain right there. So we will need another right turn. That's the next one. The next upgrade is, or the next trick is, when you're in dismantle mode, if you push the R button, the toggle dismantle mode, if you see above the number 9 hotkey, you'll see that I go between default and blueprint. You can then sample the blueprint by pushing the middle mouse button as the default. It will then take the blueprint that you're using, and you can build with that once again. We are going to put it right here. When you're building with blueprints, you have two different ways you can build, and for this one I'm going to show it over here. With blueprints, you can either build with default, which is just sliding with your cursor, or you can build in blueprint mode, which will snap blueprints together. Which has its uses. With my train tracks, it's a little bit, I have to take advantage of it in some cases, but not in others. It's very useful for when you're building out large amounts of train tracks, or large amounts of foundations like this, because then you don't have to do your best to line it up perfectly like this, and then sometimes you get shifted up. Blueprint mode is the way to go for sure. The next trick I'm going to show you is with mining. A lot of times you'll see people to hold down the mining key. So right now I'm holding E, and then you see when I let go, I stop. Now, if you listen to this, I just push my E key once, and then it automatically mines for me. This allows you to step away from the keyboard, and you don't have to just be standing there the whole time. This also comes in handy when you are in the craft bench, your hub, or one of these on their own. I don't think I can make anything with silver, so let me quickly give myself some items. We're going to give myself 1 stack of iron ore. So when I come into the craft bench, the key that you'll see in the options, you can either click and hold the craft button. Just clicking it won't do anything. You can click and hold space, or you can just tap space once and it'll do everything for you. So those are rather important things. Satisfactory is very much an automation game, and so you want to spend as little time as possible doing that. But at the same time, a lot of those starting recipes can be slow to automate, and if you are in need of something quick, say for example screws to unlock one of the hub tiers, then you can give your machines a little bit of help and craft those things. I often do this with reinforced iron plates for my constructors and whatnot, and I might change that up this next time just to automate as much as I can. The next hint, we are headed down to the forest floor for this. At the beginning of the game, when you're looking for biomass for your bio generators, fuel generators, you'll need to pick up wood and leaves, and it says press E to pick up wood. And so oftentimes you'll see people run around and then just spamming the E button, and that works. However, if you hover over one of these pick-upables, I don't know, collectibles, either leaves or wood, if you push and hold E, then from that time on, whenever you hover over something that can be picked up, it will automatically be grabbed, and that saves you the pain of having to push E every time. Now, if unlike with the other things that I've shown you, it does not work if you let go now. And as I just demonstrated, you cannot pick up the biodegradables and pick up the consumables. They are their own E key. So be aware of that as well. Now, another piece of equipment that is rather interesting. I am going to need to bring some electricity over here. Actually, I'm just going to do it right here. Let's go to advanced game settings. We need to give ourselves the hover pack. Now, the hover pack, when I first unlocked it, I thought it was rather useless. Here is me traveling with a turbo fuel jetpack. I can pick up decent speed, keep myself in the air pretty decently just by tapping the spacebar every once in a while. Relatively fast. To achieve that though, you do need to do a crouch jump, which is done, or sprint crouch jump, which is done by holding the sprint key. So I'm moving fast, moving slow, moving fast. Then you crouch to enter your slide, and then you jump. And that launches you much farther than a regular sprint jump. And here's the comparison. Still respectable, especially when you have the Blade Runners. The Blade Runners really make the sprint crouch jumps what they are. Without them, you can still do decently well, but it is still much better to do sprint crouch jumps with the Blade Runners. So that was my attempt with the jetpack, and here it is with the hover pack now. The hover pack, in fly mode. The hover pack draws electricity from the nearest source. You see, as I move farther away from the power lines, I start to lose height, and you can see in the bottom left corner that I can keep track of how much power I'm drawing, and it gives me a warning when I start to get too far away. There I lose power. When I get back close, I regain power. Now, when you lose power, you start falling, but if you hold spacebar, you do enter an emergency hover mode. So that can help you keep you from taking fall damage and also get back within the confines of your power. Now this works over anything that has a power source. So electrical lines, wired lights. It doesn't work on signs, machines. It even works on train tracks. And I will show you that momentarily. But the reason why I thought that it was so worthless is because I was traveling around my world, going from different places and factories, and the hover jetpack is just so slow. We'll wait for this autosave to go, and then I will show you the difference in speed. So you saw how I did the sprint crouch jump before, and here it is with the hover pack. Something new I learned is it does not work over wires, it works around power towers. Who knew? So if that's the case, I'm sure it works over the geothermal generators. We'll find out. So again, sprint, crouch, jump. It moves decently well, but you're required to be over power poles and anything else that contains electricity. So in this case, the tower platforms, power poles, geothermal generators, that would be biomass burners, coal generators, fuel generators, nuclear power plants, all those would give it to you as well. So let's exit out of the hover pack fly mode and enter God fly mode. We need to bring, oh, perfect, this fits here. And then we are going to go and connect to our train station. Now you saw as I connected the train station. Train stations contain power for their entire line. If you want to add power to your train tracks and allow them to actually move around, man, Swamp is awful at night. You do have to connect them to a power source. Once you do that, let me exit God mode now. You know I've entered regular hoverpack fly mode because the icon is spinning. The train tracks now act as a power source for your hoverpack. So they also will provide you with the energy you need. Oh, look at that rainbow. That is cool. And it's just the same. You get far enough away and then you drop. So yeah, hoverpack. It is amazing for building factories if you add power along the way. That I found great success with my blueprint designer having access to power, or having power poles scattered around, because then it enabled me in a regular world to have basically flying, and I was able to create these much faster because I could get at them from different angles instead of having to look up all the time. So that's a major use case. But otherwise, the jetpack is very useful, and if you have multiple jetpacks or other things that go on your back, including parachutes, all you have to do is hover over what you want to equip and push one, and it'll equip it automatically. And so if you paid attention to some of the update videos, they talked about how, oh, I don't need this. They talked about how you could really get some air with the jetpack, and the jetpack has no hover capabilities. So they recommended having a parachute to help you get down. Well, the hover pack also works. One. Because it has its hover capabilities yet again. The parachute is the same thing. So yeah, those are some quick tips. More will come up as I think of them. I do want to know what's right here though. So I'm gonna blow it up real quick. Oh, summer sloop. Hello, friend. You're annoying to get to. Alright, so that handles that. There will be more hints and tricks as you watch my videos, as I play through them. I do my best to explain my thought process and why I do certain things along the way. So if you're interested in more tips and tricks, check out my other videos that are going to be coming out with update 1 coming out. So yeah, with that in mind, or with that taken care of, let's continue building our train tracks. So I did say that we were going to head over there. So we are now at the point where I can just push out with single lines and not have to worry too much about my blueprints. For this first one, I do need to be in default mode and on the and I need to be on the bottom layer. Attach that. One. And the arrow pointing towards me. Now I might change this. I've been thinking about how much it costs and I've been seeing other people's builds and I'm just not quite satisfied with this. I don't know what I want to do to change it because I really do enjoy the signs. It's just super tall. I'm very aware that it is really tall and cumbersome. But I don't want to do a side-by-side train track because I've done that twice already. So I don't know. I might just be not used to seeing it work. We'll have to see. But if my train track design changes on you, it's to be expected. And I don't know. I might change it up depending on what location we're in. Regardless now that we've built out one of these straight tracks and that's all that we want to do, we can enter blueprint mode. And we can just walk down the line and have it build itself, making sure that the arrow is pointing towards us every time. But this is, when they announced the dimensional storage, I was really excited because this is going to take a lot of steel, and I think we've already gone over 1,000 already, which is 5 stacks. And so having the dimensional storage will allow me to put a lot of steel in my inventory, especially with that option to have it pull from the storage. So super excited about that. It actually makes my blueprint design for this viable. I'm going to say at this point it is a good time to practice with our whatever it's called, our intersection blueprint. So we are going to do it opposite from what we normally do. We are going to start with part 2 because it needs to be going the opposite way of what we normally do. And this should be red, or this should be... Oh no. Dang it, I did everything the wrong way. Ooh. Well, teaches me for getting complacent. This whole track is wrong, guys. So many blueprints the wrong way. Oh, so many the wrong way. Look at how long this tunnel goes. Dang it. Yeah, should have looked. All right. Now, one of the downsides to this blueprint mode is that you cannot select multiple blueprints to erase at once. You have to go one at a time. But considering how a lot of these blueprints have well over the limit of parts you can normally delete, it's not too bad, all things considering. Is it almost day yet? That might be the sun. There's a new moon, so it's hard to see. Oh, no, that's this one. Okay. Back into here. Now, we want the arrow pointing away from us. There we go. So it was right, and I should have paid attention. For this, it is actually... It's a learning curve, guys. It's a learning curve. Okay, green. Awesome. Now we can go into blueprint mode. And away we go. Same thing we were doing last, just barely. But doing it right. At least I have the God fight, because that would have been very extremely annoying to do on my own. And we just go until we connect to the intersection, which is starting to come up. One more. Alright, we've connected. Then from here, we take part 1. Make it default. Line it up. And then push it all the way to the side and all the way down. And now it lines up. Excellent. And then, if you remember from my example, with the trains going this way, they will come this way and then split off in any of these two directions. And if we don't need this, then we can just wall this off. And it's not that big of it's not that hard of a job to do. So it is rather nice. If I want to make something like a roundabout, then that warrants its own video, or its own build. Sorry, video. All right then. Let's see. Let's have us go back to our house. So from here, we need to go up. Oh, here's another tip for you. You have to watch the whole video to get all my tips. If you go into photo mode, which if you, it doesn't say, for me, my default key is P. This shows up. You can toggle the UI with middle mouse button. The important part is you are able to zoom in this. So if you scroll your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and look at stuff. So the reason I'm looking at this is I'm wondering if I can fit my train tracks under there, and if it's worth it. I don't think it is worth it, and I think it'd be rather difficult to line it up. So we are going to go up a couple stages. And the way this works for these blueprints is we can enter blueprint mode. Well, first we need to build a regular line with this going the opposite way. Now, I did not create reverse ramps, which apparently I also need to do, so I will do that after the stream. And no, down ramps won't work. Never mind, they will work. So we are okay. Just have to build down ramps instead of up ramps when I'm going in reverse, which makes sense. Okay, so for this blueprint, we have our regular straightaway piece right here. This can work for a 3 or a 2. Then we have our ramp. Then we can immediately go into another ramp or a 2 highway. And I can't remember why I would need to do either, but we're going to say let's do another down ramp for now. Another, you need to make sure that you leave yourself enough space to get up over your desired mountain. So it's good that we did this instead of putting a 2 foundation train check in, because I don't think we would have had the space. Okay, so for now we are able to continue on with our double stack highways, and it's been facing away from us, and now we can do blueprints. And for this, blueprints are easiest when I'm on the second layer, because then I'm able to just point at the floor and it will automatically go the way I want it to go. And of course, it's no longer it is no longer night now that I'm out of the
I strongly advise you to
swamp.
harvest this specimen.
But yeah, that's another thing. You can clear foliage out with the nobelisks. Enjoyed that tidbit. I'm excited as well for Ada's new voice lines. They're supposedly not new, but rather re-recorded. So it's cool that we're not going to be shocked with too much new. All right, now we are going to do a turn to head over to our factories. So for this we need the reverse turns. So we go to blueprints and we go to, this one is a left turn reverse with some parts. There. And we do it again. Right here will get us close enough. So we can begin going straight again. Oh, we're already at the where we want. Facing away, and off we go. This is why, by the way, you have blueprints for your train tracks and your roads, because you're able to do large swaths in one go without hardly any fuss. Let's see what one more reverse will send us. We'll see if it is too much. Yeah, it's too much. Send it that way, and now we can begin our descent. So we do 5. Looks like I do need a down ramp reverse. Or maybe I can't use it at all the way I want it to. The way around this, by the way, which I have done before. So what's happening is the way blueprints work is unless you're in blueprint builder mode, your blueprint will always build on the lowest level. So I can't tell it to build from the top. So what I have to do then is this. Then, actually, we are going to take 3, place it down, and set it down that way, and we'll go out. Then we are able to take our up ramp, 5, and line it up the way we need it to. So we need it to be reversed. So we do that. Now, unfortunately, we have to do that for everything. Because if we went into blueprint mode, this would not line up the way we need to. This is the bottom and this is the top. So we can try, but I don't think it will work. We take a number 5 and blueprint mode. Works for down ramps. I hope. Apparently doesn't. Oh, that sucks. I have to do this every time I go down then. Well, I guess I do already have a reverse. Unless I do this. Nope. Okay, good to know.
You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact.
Obviously, but where are you?
Comply.
I would if I knew where it was, Ada. Oh, is it? I don't know where it is. Is it that? It's that. Okay, I found it. Okay, so we do what we did again. We go out 2, over 2, and we jump to this. Then we take...
Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens
3,
to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
and then we go down 3, then we... Okay, so we don't have to do that in particular every time. Then we line it up the way we want it to. But the other way, there we go, like that. I'll show you the other way we can do it. Then from here, go out 2, over 2. Your voice is creepy, Ada. Then we do vertical, and we send it down a bunch. This way we don't have to keep scrolling between our hotbars or our build menu. Looks like we need one more. Now I wouldn't have to do this if they did something that would let us nudge in the vertical direction. But that, oops, took that out. That is yet to be a feature for the blueprints. One that I hope that they will do at some point, but yeah. Okay, and then we do this again. So yeah, it's still much faster to use blueprints for this than we might as well do 10. It's still much faster to do it this way with blueprints and deal with this particular problem than with building it out ourselves. So yeah, don't let this particularly dissuade you from using blueprints for it, because they are very much worth it still. This. And then we can take out this, and go to vertical, go all the way to 10, then 5. But this is why we're doing it in this world, is so that when the update drops, I already know all of the little weird intricacies that my blueprints are going to have. Okay, and then we take this again. The problem does come where I am not able to set this down by 10. And yeah, it happens every time I build. And yeah, I never look forward to getting to that point. There is a way around it, though, that I am able to do, and I will probably have to showcase it for these particular things. From here, though, we are going to go straight for a bit so we can clear that outcropping. The big problem with this is that where does center originate from? That is the hardest question that we have to answer. And I think the easiest answer is wherever hub is. And then when we move to a more central location for any reason, anything, then we can just call it a relic. But yeah, it is the biggest worry I have with this, but there isn't much to do. Because what it really comes down to is what is the right side of the road. Kind of. It's complicated when you think about it, for sure. But yeah. Okay, from here I believe we are safe now to begin descending again. So let's go 2 and 2. And then take this and go vertical 10. And then we take 5. Oh, cool. Apparently, these will still stack in blueprint mode very nicely, even if they're not on a blueprint. Just remembering the old things and old tech and whatnot. It has been a while. Like I said, this whole thing is to get me used to Satisfactory controls again. And aspects. Mechanics. Okay, this might be where we have to start cheesing how we do things. We will try normal and see if it works, but we are very close to the ground. We only need 9. Oh good, we got to 10. Honestly, this is a good place to have it be straight line now. Okay, we are going to have a straight line now. Oh, why are you all yellow? It's because you're waiting on some stuff. Something's clogged. Oh, you were not connected, huh? That is a shame. At least it was only one particular line that got messed up. And you're not connected either? What's up with this? This is not working correctly. Oh, because you weren't connected. What? This is why you always stay near your factory while it really gets going. Luckily there's a backlog of a ton of stuff, so it won't affect it overly much. That was weird. It just wasn't connected at all. Both of these were. That is very strange. No power. What? How? How is there no power? You're connected to something. There was two on it? Something's screwy around here. Was this not overclocked to 780? It was not. Oh man, what a failure. quite the send-off I was hoping for on this world. At least we know it will live on in our hearts as being successful. So, going to 480. 480 divided by 3 is 160. So 16 of these. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So all of these were performing at max efficiency. These weren't getting anything. Okay, well at least these are going to start moving forward better. Just take a while for it to get one, but at least it's going forward with it now. Yay! Problems! So you've just been cranking out, haven't you? Okay, so the cool thing about this now is this is exactly why we have our intersections, and we'll finish with this and call our train station complete. Let me see how well this is doing. How full are you? Okay, decent. I do realize though there is a little bit of a problem with how do I access my parts in any meaningful way. Because with this setup it goes to the top and not the bottom. Need to reverse the order on how it does this, where it goes to the top and then trickles its way down. That becomes messy. Although with these are meant less for me to get to them and more as a buffer for me knowing that I will need them at some point, and then trains are able to come and grab them. So it's not too bad. I think I'll leave these here and I'll rethink my single ones. Huh. It's interesting to see how these work. Oh, it is interesting to see how these work. So, all of the... So whenever you put things in the bottom, and there are two of them, it will always output at the bottom first, and then it will trickle things at the top second. So that's why this is near full and this is not. And everything is slowly getting up to the top. So this side is going to fill up first and then it's going to shift over to all of this. Interesting. Learning new mechanics. Very cool. Anyway, that should be that factory sorted, so let's finish off with our train. So we determined that this is about the perfect height for it because we have varying one, we have varying heights of our factories, but in the Doom Desert, you have these sand dunes that rise up, and so you want to keep your bottom pretty far off of them. And I think this just about clears everything. It looks to. Maybe not that particular one right in the center of your screen, but we'll just avoid that. Maybe we'll call it good. Okay, so we are going to do this and go into blueprint mode and away from us. So it kind of, this particular example kind of breaks down with where the trains are going to go, because what is our central hub? What is our central storage? Because I'm saying everything is going from this location, but what is that central location? I don't have anything built for it, so what is it? And for this particular world, we don't really have a place to call home. So yeah, in our other world, it will be the same question that I won't really have an answer to. Although it is also to be said that I probably won't have all of these blueprints unlocked at that point. And so we'll have to see what happens. It'll be something that we'll figure out when we get to that point. We'll do one more of this, and now we can build our intersection out. So this is an example of what I was telling you before. So we will do an 8, and we need to take it off blueprint. Pretty sure it doesn't matter which one points this way. I think it is this way. Yeah, it is. Cool. And then we come here with 7 and in blueprint mode, off of blueprint mode, and line it up. And move all the way down and all the way in. And this is what I was telling you about. We don't need this one. And so what we are able to do is just get rid of it. Oh, that's not fun. Okay, I will have to redo how the beams are done. Although it's not the worst to redo them myself. Although we don't need in particular, do we? Let me close all this off and we can see what we think. Now we definitely do to change how these are done. Okay, it will be a quick change though, and one that we can do in this world. Okay, but yeah, this is what we do. When we don't need a particular part, we just close it off like this. And it matches the overall theme of it, and so it still works and looks pretty good. And then from here, we can now reverse and actually have the train track face us, which is a nice change of pace. And we do need to decide at what point it stops. Okay, so now we will build out our train station for this. So since we have 3 different items coming out of here, we're going to need 3 different train stops. Technically 4, because I will show you what I normally do for my builds, or for my personal trains. So let's grab the blueprints and build everything out. So what I prefer to do is have a personal train station where I can automatically tell my personal train that takes me around the world, to take me to this spot, and then it'll do so. And that way I don't have to try to maneuver around my trains as they're working. So this is the personal station. Then, since we have 3 different items, we are going to need different train stops for each. So for instance, say we have trains that need to grab rotors. Depending on how we do this, I would probably have this come out front, this be back a little bit, and this be even further back. Doing this makes me realize that we need to push forward a little bit more, but it will be okay for this example because we can just move along this rail system. So, as I was saying, what's going to happen is there are 2 different ways I see us using this kind of thing, where we have so much of this one material in one spot. If we have multiple processes that need rotors, we would create a train station for each particular one and have it split off accordingly. And it goes for all of these. The problem with that is that it very quickly becomes a logistical nightmare, because how do we split so many items accordingly and efficiently and well, and doesn't oversaturate any of the train stations? You can't, if you have multiple processes needing these, you can't just put them all into one freight platform, because when you put down a train, out a bit. Okay. Edit timetable. So if you add this and then use settings. So when you tell it to add an item, in this case, let's say it's the rotors, it will load these up, but you can't tell it how much. And one load unload has been completed. So that's the issue, is setting it up so that multiple trains don't all take from the same train station, because lining it up is just a hassle. So what I sincerely propose is for you to say, okay, I am making a lot of these modular frames a minute, they are all going to one process. And design it accordingly. So in this case, we're having 5, 10, we have 20 modular frames going out from here. Have all of those go to the same place, so only one train is needed. And it's the same thing with the smart plating, and it's the same thing with the motors. Have all of them go to the same place. And that becomes incredibly useful with our other factory and the screws and the iron plates and the iron rods, because processes need tons of those. And so in this case, it becomes slightly easier. I forget how many screws we're making. Looks like it is 50 a minute, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 720, I think. If I did my maths right. But we're going to go off of that. So 720 screws a minute. I mean, that process over there was pretty much using over that many screws. And so if we connect these via rail and had these travel over there, at that point you would want to figure out how to split these a little bit better. But you'd have to figure out something very simple to do, because I've already shown you what it takes to get these to filter out nicely, and not all numbers are that nice. So yeah, trains have their own logistical issues, and it's just something that you have to prepare for and be okay with. So at this point though, we are able to take our blueprint. I do believe we have enough room to do 10. So we do a down ramp. So, and this is where it kind of breaks down, because you can see how it's off. And it's just something you have to accept when you're doing blueprints like these. It's extremely difficult to have everything perfectly connected to the world grid. And so there are ways around this. For instance, so if I connect it here, so the easiest way would be for this to come in, and we can actually do a 2. Awesome. So let's bring in this blueprint. I think this is correct. That there. And this is just how it works. And if I planned, if I made this before I made the factory, then I would plan for this and use it as a design trait in it. But you really do have to just get used to little inconsistencies like this. It's par for the course. Need to see what would work with this. This was set up here. Let's have this set up right here. Go to here. I don't think this works. The other problem with tracks is doing something like this. Because these really do not like to work. It takes a lot to get them to work. So yeah, different things I should have done with this. Perhaps the easiest way to fix this is to have this be our starting point and then just have this excess space. Alternatively, we could have planned for this and had our intersection be right here, but also it doesn't work. So it takes a lot of planning to get things looking nice, and you would be able to use this space creatively in your saves, and perhaps you increase how much distance this holds. It's completely up to you. One thing we can try, but yeah, this is part of the problem. If you look at this, actually, no, never mind. Let's take this off, though. Have it start here. And that might help. And I believe if I tried to go one closer that it wouldn't work. Yeah. So in this particular instance, this is what you need. What the heck? This is what you need to do to get this working. And then to get this to come down, let's give this to here, have it curl around to here. Suppose it makes sense that they both have to go to the same spot. Now, this is what you do when you are bringing it to 1. Say now, for instance, that I want multiple of these to go here. So what you would need to do first of all, you probably need to start even farther back from this. So basically, this is bad. Let's get rid of this. It's making things complicated. And let's reset by 1. this down. Take off blueprint. This. And now we can have the two stacking. Well, we can even have the four stacking, I think. Yeah, we can for the three stack. Let's do the three stack. Okay, so from here, what you want to do is set up a way for your trains to all move into station. So you can do this two ways. You can do this two ways from my example. Let's bring this up. So let's say you're coming from this platform. I need these now. I'm going to have my rail come up to this point. Have this come down into this. Of course, it's too sharp of a turn. Yeah, the rails have been having issues snapping for me lately. It's been very weird. Yeah, and they want to do this. It's a weird curve. So the way you get around that is by placing another one of these here and connecting these. That way it only happens to the first one. And then after this it should be straight. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Okay. Now, you say, okay, I have my exit, or I have my entrance. Trains are going to come this way. You need to determine how you want these to split off into their assigned ways. I just don't like this. I don't like how that works. So let's back this up by one. Too sharp of a turn. When is it not too sharp of a turn then, huh? Okay, something happened to the rails recently where they don't like to play well with corners. On the bright side, it made it a straight train. At least that's how it looks. Okay, regardless now then. So, from here, you could design something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess that worked. So you could design something like this where 6, 4. This, and I'm pretty sure you need to reconnect this. But of course it doesn't like it to. So annoying. So let's do this. So here. And let's see if this is connected. It looks to be connected. Station. It is not connected. Because why would it be connected? Yeah, Money Man, I think you are getting banned for that. Sorry, thanks for chatting, but yeah, no, that doesn't fly here. You're banned. Yes, sorry, but yeah, no. So continuing on, I'm sorry about this. I'm still getting used to how these particular, with how these play with each other now. So let's take this up another one. This is a poor example. I have a better example on another world. Let's start from here because it's actually normal. So let's attach that here and attach that there. Is this connected? No, it is not. Oh, that means the other one was. And this one isn't? Okay, let's add this back in. So you are connected. No, you're not connected anymore. Okay, well, there's an easier way to do this then. So if the train stations don't like corners, like what I'm seeing, all you have to do is plan for it a little bit in advance. And this should work. It does not work, but we don't care. That. Oh, there's no power because it's not connected to power. Duh. Okay, but I think this is what you would want to do regardless. We won't find out though, because the stream's almost over. Which is a shame. Got some things going on this world, but not enough. So anyway. I should have kept that. So, you can do this where from this line you create little train docks. which look like this. They're rather cramped. You'll have to go over the top of them whenever you want to bring in other items, or from the sides or underneath, however you want to do it. Back on here. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then we need one more. So in this example, it would look like this, where incoming trains needing different supplies, and we could say rotors, smart plating, modular frames, and have these just go on the ceiling. And then when they exit, they would go like this, and then they would go like this. Oh, that's right. That's why this one is so weird, because it's offset. Yeah, no wonder why it's having issues. I forgot. Back to there. Back there. Now, and then you have your trains exit this way. It's pretty efficient. You would set up your signals the way you need to, so each one of these are its own separate block, and you have your path signals too attached to everything. It gets to be a little bit of a mess. You don't want anything in the... You would have to make, starting from here to here, its own block, which is relatively simple. I will show you that real quick. And it won't look correct, but I'm pretty sure it is correct. Oh, that's what's supposed to go there. What's 9? Yeah, no, that is wrong. Okay. I had issues with my blueprints recently, so I have to redo them. And reassigning them. Transport. This is 9 and this is 0. So you take your path signal, you place that there, there, and there. And you take your block signal, put it there. And then you would have your block signal here, here, and here, and you would place your path signal ideally here. Oh, apparently they work even without power. Nice. So, without getting too detailed into path signals, because they are extremely confusing just getting into them. The path signal tells your train where to go. So if I had 2 trains coming together at the same time, one behind the other. One's going to pick up rotors. It would go here, and as soon as it hits this track and exits, the one that's going to get smart plating will also be able to go in right here. And then no other trains going for rotors or smart plating would be able to get into these two, because the path would say, sorry, these are blocked, these are full, you can't get to where you're trying to go. Then when they're exiting, say that the rotors wants to exit first, it will talk to the path signal and say, hey, I want to leave. And so it will enter here. Then as it's leaving, the smart plating finishes and says, hey, I want to leave. The path signal says, no, there's somebody in this path right now. And then, actually we're going to say, here's another block right here. Like so. And it says, sorry, there's somebody in here. As soon as the rotors train enters this section from the tunnel to here, the path from here then says, okay, hey, it's clear now, you're free to go. So this is one way you can do it. Another way to do it is to reverse how this looks and have this go straight and just flip these around. Which I think I like better doing it that way. Have the entrance be straight this way. So yeah, it's up to you. I was talking about two different ways you can do it. But yeah, those are the two different ways. You can do it this way, where the train station is right here. Or you can do it the other way, where the train station is here. It's up to you, obviously. And it's, I think, more of an aesthetic and logistics way of doing it. As much as I like the straight edge coming down this way, and it would make it easier to control things, you do have to plan, because now the freights aren't pointing towards their storages. And it's just a different challenge. You just have to plan your logistics accordingly. And I was saying, so there are different ways you can connect your tunnels into your factory. These require blueprints. One of the ones that I didn't think were too important until I realized what you could do with them are automated gates. So, an automated gate will open whenever a vehicle or a person is entering. Or is coming in contact with it. They don't like to stack on top of each other. It's very finicky. There's that. But yeah, you see, as I go in, these try to open. Oh, that's wrong. Excuse me. It doesn't quite work for this. As you can see, it clips through. And so what I would do to fix it is have this come up, I'd say another at least one for doing it, so we can actually show what that looks like a little bit. So let's say our train track, our train station is going to come out a little bit more. Now we can take that automated gate up perfectly. There we go. That lines it up a little bit better. It won't be perfect, but it'll be good enough for the demonstration. So let's connect this to power real quick. Okay, now we have power. So we have a train coming in this way. Let's back this up one more. I'm going to try to do something. I want to show you what it looks like when they open for you. So they open right there for you. Go in. Then as you exit, they open again. And then what you'd also be able to do is, let's take the wall, and then, actually let's take this wall, and a little bit in, that. And if you use better walls than I do, I quite like how the X's look right here, and so I got lucky with that. This one doesn't look as good, but it still looks decent. Now it looks like it's perfectly cemented into the wall. And you'd be able to do it with this as well, or two. So you're able to do, with them having given us the power of nudge, they've opened up a lot of different things that you're able to do. In this case, for this particular thing, I would say a wall is would be pretty good to do. And then you would do this. And that way it's completely enclosed. And you don't even have to do it like that, because if you take this and have it up to here, I suppose you need to keep those in here. These are going to glitch through a little bit, but you get what you get. There isn't much you can do with that. Pillars would work. You could always do pillars. And there are half foundations. So you could take this and put it like this. And then you can take this, put it up to here, and then this one doesn't work as well. But then you're able to do the same thing right there as well. Or alternatively, on this one, have this be offset however much you need to. Walls, basic wall. And have it start off like this. And then on whenever you decide to stop the particular thing, you could have it stop right here if you wanted to. And then you take this. Oh no, I guess we had it off so it wouldn't interfere with this. Like there. And then this could go here. And then this goes here and down. You'd have something like this. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but it works. And that's the thing with the game, is you can be super crazy making sure everything is meticulously right, or you could not care and just say, well, that happened, oh well. Or you can attempt to make it nice and have it work for you. Whichever works. But yeah, with that explanation, that is it. We have finished what I wanted to do for this world. I feel much more confident with the Satisfactory controls and blueprints. We do have... Are things working? Maybe I overclocked that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I caught it at a bad time. We're only making 10 minutes. Is that supposed to be what I did? I have no idea. I think so. We got this working. We have a new system for our blueprints. We have our rail system working. It looks pretty good. Now that I see it from the side, I like how it looks. The reflection is nice. I do like the reflection and the way it goes across. I do love how trains look. One thing I didn't mention is with this particular blueprint, if I want to do this right, I will go and add this, which is extremely difficult to to apply. The problem is I can't add it to a blueprint because not all blueprints not all straightaways are attached to an up or a down ramp. With the Mark II blueprint designer, I will be able to remedy that, and I probably will do that in the future. But yeah. We have our train system working. We looked at what it's required for a nuclear power, and I said there's no way we're doing that in 2 days. But yeah, I am pleased with what we did. I am happy with the results that we got. Let's head up and stand on the top of the space elevator. Oh, that's too far. Are we able to stand on this? No, we are not. Not going to be able to. Oh well, we'll be here then. We practiced our trains. We looked at nuclear power. There was something with a blueprint that I said I needed to fix, but I don't think... Oh, I remember what it is. I will fix that when I get to it, and I might do it after this video. We practiced late game amounts of resources. Trains. We established some train logistics. Did a new power facility, and we can actually do this. There it is over in the distance. That is tame compared to another one that I did. But yeah, that is it. It was a very brief journey in this world, but it got me excited to play Satisfactory again and start from the ground up and go to the top. Oh man, I am so excited. I will be streaming the new update tomorrow starting at 9:30 p.m. MST. The update drops at 9 a.m. MST, so 10 a.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Swedish time, and however else you want to do that math. But it is dropping tomorrow, and I am so excited. Thank you all so much for watching. I very much appreciate you and the time you spent dropping in and saying hi and chatting with me. I will upload the video tonight and just have it there so I don't have any backed up material from pre-update, and then videos will start dropping at 5 p.m. Eastern. But yes, thank you. I will see you tomorrow for the update.